You had a billionaire father, but no love. Money could buy everything except happiness. You're born in Queens, New York, in 1946. Congratulations! You've just entered the world as the son of Fred Trump, a real estate millionaire with the emotional warmth of an iceberg. Your childhood won't be about hugs and bedtime stories. It'll be about numbers, business, and learning that showing weakness is the greatest sin you can commit. Your house in Jamaica Estates is big and cold. Not cold from temperature, but from the complete absence of genuine human affection. Family dinners are board meetings where your father discusses properties, rents, and how to crush the competition. Your mother Mary is there, but she seems more like elegant decoration than a warm, maternal figure. By age 5, you're already getting your first lessons from your father about how to be a Trump. Losers complain, he tells you, while looking at you with that expression of perpetual disapproval. Winners win. What are you going to be? It's not really a question. It's a command. Your father never hugs you. Hugs are for the weak, according to his philosophy. When you cry because another kid pushed you at the playground, you don't get comfort. You get a lesson. Trumps don't cry, Trumps fight back. By age 7, you've internalized that affection is earned through success, not given freely. Your siblings are competitors, not playmates. Freddie, your older brother, makes the cardinal mistake of showing sensitivity. Your father punishes him constantly for not being tough enough. You watch and learn. Compassion is a weakness that will be punished. At school, you start behaving exactly like your father taught you. If someone bothers you, you annihilate them. If someone has something you want, you take it. Teachers call home constantly reporting your aggressive behavior. Your father isn't upset, he's proud. He's showing leadership, he says. But then you make some mistakes. Too many mistakes for your father's taste. At 13, after a series of incidents including hitting a teacher and constantly disruptive behavior, your father makes a decision that will change your life forever. You need real discipline, he tells you without any emotion. You're going to New York Military Academy. It's not a discussion, it's a sentence. You're being sent away because you're not perfect enough for the image your father wants to project. Military Academy is brutal. You wake up at 6 a.m. to screaming in your face. Your days are completely structured. Military drills, intensive studies, more drills. There's no time to be a kid because, frankly, you're no longer allowed to be one. Here, you learn the most important lessons of your life, though you don't realize it at the time. First, the strong dominate the weak. Second, the appearance of power is as important as actual power. Third, never show vulnerability because it will be used against you. You become a bully because it's the only way to survive without being completely destroyed. You identify the weaker kids and torture them psychologically. When other boys cry, you feel a strange mix of power and emptiness. The power feels good. The emptiness, well, you learn to ignore that. After 5 years at the academy, you return home as the product your father wanted, emotionally armored, competitive to the point of cruelty, and completely obsessed with winning at any cost. Your father finally looks at you with something resembling approval. It's the warmest moment you'll ever have with him. You enroll at Fordham University, then transfer to Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania. Not because you have passion for education, but because your father has decided you need impressive credentials for the family business. At Wharton, you become exactly what you might expect. Arrogant, flashy, and completely obsessed with projecting success. Your classmates aren't friends, they're potential contacts or competitors to beat. Genuine relationships are a foreign concept to you at this point. You graduate and immediately enter the family business. Your father gives you a small office and tells you, "Show me what you're made of." But here's the problem. No matter how well you do, it's never enough. Every achievement is met with a new demand to do more, be bigger, win more. In the 1970s, you start building your own identity separate from your father. But it's an identity built on the same principles he taught you. Image is everything, winning is everything, and feelings are for losers. You marry Ivana in 1977. She's beautiful, elegant, and perfect for your image. But the marriage is more like a corporate merger than a romantic union. She understands the game. Look perfect, appear in the society pages, and never do anything that damages the Trump brand. You have children, Donald Jr., Ivanka, Eric. But fatherhood is puzzling to you because you never had a model of how to be a loving father. You try to teach them the same lessons your father taught you because it's all you know. In the 1980s, you build Trump Tower. It's more than a building. It's a monument to your ego, a statement to the world that you've made it. The penthouse apartment is literally gold everything. You're living in the sky, but emotionally you still feel empty. The 1990s bring bankruptcies, divorces, and public humiliation. Your empire teeters, your marriage crumbles, and for the first time in your life, you face the real possibility of failure. But instead of reflection, you double down on the only strategy you know. Project more success. Talk louder. Fight harder. You marry Marla Maples, then Melania. Each marriage follows the same pattern. Beautiful woman as accessory for your image. Transactional relationship where everyone gets something but nobody gets genuine love. In 2004, The Apprentice makes you a television star. Finally, you receive something that resembles love. From the public, millions of people tune in to watch you, to hear your opinions, to be entertained by your personality. It's addictive in a way you've never experienced. But even this success comes with a price. You become a caricature of yourself, exaggerating every personality trait that audiences find entertaining. The line between the real Donald Trump and the television character Donald Trump blurs until it disappears. In 2015, you decide to run for president. Everyone says it's impossible perfect. Your entire life has been about proving people wrong, about winning when nobody expects you to win. The campaign becomes the biggest and final show of your life. Against all odds, you win. On January 20th, 2017, you become the 45th President of the United States. It's the ultimate achievement, the final validation of everything your father taught you about winning. You should feel triumphant. You should feel complete. But you don't. Even at the pinnacle of the world's highest power, that 5-year-old boy who just wanted his father to hug him is still there, hungry for approval that never comes completely. The 4 years in the presidency are a mix of chaos, controversy, and a constant feeling that you're fighting against everyone. The media, the Democrats, even Republicans sometimes. It's exactly like your childhood, you against the world, with no real allies, no one to trust completely. When you lose the 2020 re-election, it's devastating in a way that goes beyond normal politics. It's the final validation of your greatest existential fear, that you are fundamentally a loser. Everything your father taught you to avoid, all the shame you were made to believe you'd experience, if you didn't constantly win? Your response is completely predictable because it's the only response you know how to give. Deny reality. Create an alternative narrative where you actually won, and fight to the bitter end because accepting defeat means facing decades of emotional pain you've been avoiding your entire life. At the end of the day, you were born rich but died emotionally bankrupt. You had all the money in the world but never had the one thing you actually needed: unconditional love from a father. And that wound, that desperate need for approval that was never satisfied, shaped every decision you made and every relationship you destroyed. It sucked to be born Donald Trump. Not because of the wealth or the opportunities, but because you were raised by a man who confused success with love, power with affection, and winning with worth. The richest poor boy in America who never learned that being human means being vulnerable sometimes. Friends, what historical figure would you like to experience in the next video? Comment below with your detailed thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe completely. Let's continue exploring the lives that seem perfect from the outside, but are incredibly complicated and painful on the inside.